With its fresh new design, sharp edges, hybrid powertrain system, and off-roading capabilities, this 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser Premium model is the new man's truck. With a price gap of just over $6,000 plus taxes from the model before this, which is just the Land Cruiser model, this premium package has a Canadian MSRP of $84,957 plus your destination, transportation, fees, and taxes. Now, for 2024 model Land Cruiser, there were two models that gave you the rounded retro-style front headlamps and design, one of them being the first edition, which is no longer available and in production, and the other one, the 1958, and then two models that gave you this more modern and straightforward-looking front fascia and headlamp design. This now is not the case. You can only get the rounded retro-style front headlamps with the 1958. The other ones give you this look here. Now, it would be super cool if you can pick and choose which style headlamp you want on your Land Cruiser when you're ordering it, but this one, like I mentioned, does come standard with the rectangle, modern, 3-projector style front headlamp with the amber signal lighting. You've got the rigid industry fog lamps as well, and some side venting along the sides of the trim paneling on the front bumper. Now, the front bumper assembly on the Toyota Land Cruiser looks a little bit like a Lego setup with many different pieces to the puzzle, bringing it together to one to make your front end. And that is strategic because when you are off-roading or overlanding or doing any kind of off-roading driving, if you do run into any problems and hit something on your front bumper, whether it's in the center or the corner, the chances of you having to replace just that one panel or part as opposed to replacing your entire front bumper is highly likely, saving you cost and aggravation down the road in case you run into any damages on your front fascia of your Toyota Land Cruiser. The Toyota Land Cruiser has a very upward vertical standing front windshield, which you think would create a problem for wind noise, but all Land Cruisers come standard with acoustic glass and active noise control, so comfort inside the cabin is definitely assured. You also get a standard 20-inch gunmetal gray alloy wheel, which this one here is wrapped in an all-season tire, which is a 265/60 R20 and looks fantastic on this body design. Oh, and by the way, those side bumper vents that I showed you earlier are functional. You can see here that they actually follow through to the wheel well. If you don't remember, these are the side vents that I'm talking about. So yes, not just for look, they are functional as well. This Toyota Land Cruiser also comes standard with some side running boards from the factory, which is always nice. And it also comes standard with a lot of piano black accents like these side mirrors and the door handles front and rear, which gives you the smart key sensor at the front for driver and passenger side. Regardless what model Toyota Land Cruiser you decide to go with, whether it's a pre-owned first edition from 2024 or an entry-level 1958 model, these are all off-roading hybrid machines with similar capabilities, but specifically this premium package is definitely a man's truck because it gives you more off-roading specialized equipment like a stabilizer disconnect mechanism, a multi-terrain select, and a multi-terrain monitor. And speaking of a man's truck and all things manly, this video is brought to you by manscaped.com. Manscaped was nice enough to sponsor this video and delivered me a package called the Perfect Package 5.0 Ultra. And of course, this package came with some very useful grooming tools like the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which is an upgrade from the Lawnmower 4.0. Now, if you haven't considered Manscaped yet for all of your grooming needs, then you probably should because their grooming tools are very, very advanced. More advanced than the Lawnmower 4.0, this one features next generation dual skin safe blade heads, and it's accompanied by an upgraded trimmer blade and interchangeable foil blade for enhanced performance. This top of the line grooming tool features a bigger LED light, rechargeable lithium ion battery, RPM technology for top notch performance, USB-C charging, and a 3-level battery life indicator, and yes, it is waterproof. Now head on over to manscaped.com to get your hands on some of the most finest grooming tools available, like the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. And be sure to use my promo code for 20% off plus free international shipping and one free gift. Now let's continue on with this very manly hybrid off-roading SUV. You even get these manly rectangle kind of squared off side mirrors. Like I said, they are finished in a piano black, and you do get blind spot monitoring system as well. You've got the amber turn signals here, and they are not power folding, but you'll notice just underneath the side mirror, you've got a lot of sensors and cameras, which is mainly for features of your Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 and your multi-terrain monitor, which comes standard on this model as well. Now, all Toyota Land Cruisers are a 5-passenger configuration. If you want a similarly capable off-roading SUV from Toyota and a 7-passenger, then check out the 2025 redesigned Toyota 4Runner. I'll put a link in the comments or in the description section, for that matter, to a video review I did on that. You can check it out later on. The Toyota Land Cruiser comes with a 37.5 cubic feet of space cargo capacity with a couple of different little nooks and storage compartments. You've got one here at the very back of the trunk area. You do also have some standard rear trays and cup holders and accessory power outlets in the rear trunk area. Now, one might ask, why do you need those if it's not a 7-passenger or a third row configuration? Well, keep in mind, the Toyota Land Cruiser is for camping, it's for outdoors, it's for adventures, it's for tailgating. So if you ever need this kind of setup, it's already there in your Toyota Land Cruiser. You do get a power rear tailgate, but you don't have the rear kick sensor capability. That's more reserved for hybrid SUVs like the Toyota Grand Highlander and so on. Some rectangle squared off rear taillights, which almost match the look and shape of the side mirrors identically. You've got a lot of black trimmed finished rear bumper fascia on the Land Cruiser Premium for 2025 here. Very durable, very rugged. You've got sensors all around the vehicle, rear and front, for your parking sensors. And yes, the Toyota Land Cruiser Premium, they do come with a towing hitch assembly. You've got the full-size spare tire underneath your cargo area. Now, to get to the hitch, you do have to remove this cover piece and cover panel. I don't want to do that right now on this display model, but to get that off, there are a couple of pins, I don't know if you could see it right underneath there, that you got to pop off, and then the plastic cover trim piece comes off so that you can access your trailer hitch and do your outdoor adventuring or towing. The overall height of the Toyota Land Cruiser measures in at around 76.2 inches, and in the second row, that gives you around 38.5 inches of headroom for your rear passengers. The Land Cruiser Premium comes standard with a JBL audio system with some side tweeter speakers on the inner door panels as well. You've got plenty of legroom here for your back passengers, whether you're carrying a full-sized adult or not. And right in the rear of the middle center console, you'll see some temperature controls and settings for your back passengers, as well as some power and auxiliary outlets as well, including USB-C and 12-volt. On this model, you also get a 2-position memory seat function with the premium package, and keep in mind the interior material is a genuine leather. It is not a Softex or anything synthetic, and you can definitely feel this when you're on the interior or in the interior. You get an 8-way power driver seat with this model with the lumbar support, and an 8-way power passenger seat as well. And you'll be happy to know that the front seats are perforated, heated, and ventilated, so you can stay warm in the winter months and cool and fresh in those hot summer months. And this is something else that I really admire and love about the Toyota Land Cruiser Premium, and we don't see this very often at all, and that's a power, tilt, and telescopic steering column. This is super rare and more reserved for vehicles like Lexus. Over to the left of the driver, you have a small instrument panel for features like your fog light assembly, your automatic high beams, your power rear tailgate, your power to your AC 120 volt accessory outlet, and features for your tow and haul control for this hybrid off-roading SUV as well. And your center armrest can act like a glove box or storage, or you can keep it for what it's made for, which is a cooling box for any snacks, drinks, which is perfect when you're on the go and overlanding, camping, off-roading, and want to keep your favorite beverage cool. Just north of this cooling box, you'll find a multi-terrain select when it comes to your high 4, low 4, your traction control, your stabilizer disconnect, your locking rear differential, plenty of function controls for all your off-roading needs and capabilities on this 25 Land Cruiser Premium. Just north of that, you've got your gear shifter with your electronic parking brake function as well. And just north of that, you've got your downhill assist control function, your multi-terrain select, and a bunch of different driving modes from sport to normal to eco and much more. Now, all the instrument panels and knobs are very high quality feel and touch, and they're very satisfying when you're going over and selecting your different driving modes. The overall instrument panel is very similar to something I've seen before on, let's say, the Toyota Crown Signia, for example. I did do a full review on that. I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out later on. This here is your button for your multi-terrain view. You've got a bunch of different USB-C outlets as well. And yes, this wouldn't be a fully loaded Toyota Land Cruiser without a wireless phone charger. In your Land Cruiser Premium, you get a leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, which is an all-new design steering wheel for Toyota. I haven't seen anything like this before. Plenty of instrument clusters and instrument panels for certain applications of your Land Cruiser right at the tip of your fingers. You'll notice there are also paddle shifters that come standard to feel all that horsepower, which I'll get to in a second. You also have a driver monitor camera, which is this thing here, which helps to keep your eyes on the road and alert you if you are distracted. Now, this model also comes standard with a 12.3-inch wide full digital multi-information display system, which will give you a lot of access to customizations about your vehicle. You also have a 12.3-inch wide multimedia system, which is fully buttonless, optically bonded glass, giving you the latest multimedia from Toyota, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and more. Underneath the hood of this hybrid off-roading SUV, you get a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain system pumping out 326 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque. And you'll be happy to know that it can still do a very good job towing with up to a 6,000 towing capacity rating. And in terms of fuel economy, this Land Cruiser is hooked up to a 68-liter gas tank and gives you a combined city and highway fuel economy of around 10.1 liters per 100, which translates to around 28 miles per gallon. Now, keep in mind, this is one of the only Toyota vehicles that does require premium fuel. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video review of the 25 Land Cruiser fully loaded off-roading man's hybrid SUV. We'll catch you on the next video review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Take care.